What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we're heading over to CES Motorsport because it's time to make more power in the 340. We got some cool stuff on deck. I'm not sure how many videos this is going to span into, but we're going to be there for about 3 days working on the car. I ended up ordering the dynamic Autowerx turbo from Euro Performance Shop. Big shout out to those guys. I'll have that link down below. We also have Dorch Stage 2 high pressure fuel pump from Keys Motorsports, and then we are also doing the methanol, Snow Performance methanol injection system. However, it's going to be a little bit customized. CES kind of does it their own way. I also got the BMS tank that goes in the back, so it's going to be a fun 3 days. The third day is going to be all tuning. The first 2 days are going to be all install. So I'm not sure how many videos this is going to end up being because obviously with the car being there for 3 days, we have a ton of work to do, and I don't want to try and like pack 3 days of stuff into one video, so I'll probably just do like daily uploads until we're done with this process. I see this part of the build as being 2 parts. One, you got to work to make the power, and then 2, you got to be able to maintain the power, make sure the car can actually handle the power. I see a lot of people doing number 1 and not so many people doing number 2. When I talk about maintaining the power, making sure the car can handle the power, I am looking into upgrading the drive shaft and then also the axles. So CES has done this exact setup that we are doing on a couple of different 340s, so we kind of know already where we're gonna be in terms of power and whatnot, and we've already seen axles go at this power level. So I don't even wanna risk it, you know, for something like this. I already know that I'm gonna be making the power that I want. I'm not really like shooting for the moon, but I'm gonna be making some pretty good power in this car. But I also wanna be able to drive the car. I wanna be able to drive the car far, out of state, different shows. So we're gonna make sure that this thing is as bulletproof as we possibly can make it, and that it can handle the amount of power that we're gonna put into it. So we'll do future videos talking about drive shafts and axles. I'm not quite sure like who I'm gonna go with or who's doing it. I still got a lot of research to do when it comes to that. But nonetheless, it's gonna be a fun 3 days. I'm gonna try and film as much as possible and bring you guys along for a ride. If you're looking for any of the products that we're using, we're gonna have them linked down below. In addition to all of that, I actually ordered new tie rods for up front because I had an alignment done last week. They were able to get the rear aligned perfectly, but the front we weren't able to do because the front tie rods are completely seized. Pretty common problem in these cars that after a few years, those tie rods can seize up, and at that point you really just gotta replace them. So I went ahead and ordered some new ones, and we're gonna throw those in while we're at it. And then I think Thursday morning I'm gonna head back and have the alignment completely done. Once we wrap up this leg of performance stuff, the car goes back to have the full PPF done on the front end. I was waiting a little bit for this paint to cure on the hood, but we should be good to go ahead and throw PPF on. I'm doing the entire front end, so I'll do the fenders, I'll do the hood, I'll do the front bumper, I'll do the headlights, and then that'll probably be it. With the Supra, I ended up going with the Pure 800, and that took like a year. It took forever for that turbo to actually get in. So the Dynamic Autowerx turbo, I literally paid for it through European Performance Shop, and I had the turbo within a week. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. We have the data with this turbo and this exact setup, and it makes really good power. Their turbos are really well made. So it was a pretty easy decision for me to divert away from, you know, the pure turbos, going into something a little bit different like the Dynamic Autowerx turbo. I'm really looking forward to it, man. We're gonna be making some sick power in this car. Last baby pull of the stock turbo. Had to feel it one more time, you know? One more time before we had some good power in this thing. If I had to guess, we're probably somewhere around 400 wheel right now. Maybe a little more, not quite sure. But we're gonna have quite a few maps available once we tune. You guys will see the whole tuning video. We're gonna do a video on that, obviously. But yeah, we'll have some good maps to play around with, some with meth, some with ethanol, some with pump, and one even with a flame tune, which should be interesting. Big ass fireballs coming out of the back of this car. Should be sick. So this is the BMS, I believe it's a 3-gallon tank. This is the one that comes with the snow kit. Obviously way better, way larger. And it's a stealth tank, so meaning we can hide it in the trunk. What does that mean? Throw it in this compartment right here, just like that. Fits nice and snug. What meth, right? So, we got that. We have the CTS turbo catless downpipe. So we were just looking at the stock one versus this one. This one is much larger, so we should get a much better flow out of this one. And then moving on, here is the Snow Performance meth gauge, and then we have the boost cooler, all the wiring, and we are doing stainless lines for the methanol kit. Here are all the electronics and stuff. And then we have the Dorch Stage 2 high pressure fuel pump, and then we have the dynamic Autowerx B58 Flomax Plus turbo. So everything is here. I also got the installation kit with this, as well as the inlet pipe. Highly recommended if you're doing this install. Comes with everything you need. Comes with the gaskets, and then the install kit is right here. So here's the install kit that comes with the turbo. Super excited to get it on. So we're going to be using one of the jets in this bung right here, and then the other jet is going to be in a bung down here. I believe we're going to be boost tapping into here and then running all of the wiring down the side into the back tank. And the boost cooler, I think, goes in there. I'll have to see where those guys end up putting it. Obviously going to be pulling all this stuff out: intake, charge pipe, down pipe, all that stuff. But yeah, really looking forward to it, man. If you guys need anything done, hit up CES Motorsport. It's such a great shop. I just met this guy over here who has a Supra. Learned about CES from me in my videos, which is pretty cool. I love it when I get to meet you guys at the shop. Mr. Caveman back in the house. This guy, he's ready to go. Amped up, caffeinated. Feeling a little bit spicy this morning. Had some chorizo for breakfast.
At first I said that I love you when you ain't say that shit back. It's kinda hard to just trust you when both your feelings don't match. Got me showing less emotions, I don't wanna get attached. Once I give you my word, I swear it ain't no going back. Once I give you my
charge pipe out for the most part. This little part right here. Popping out the inlet right there. Intake is out. And then we're probably gonna start working on the bottom side, right? Exhaust, pull off the exhaust. All right, we got most of the stuff off. We're just fighting one little bolt that holds on the down pipe. Threw some PB blaster on it. Pull that off, and then we can pull out the turbo. And look what finally came. This customer over here ordered a pure turbo 6 to 8 months, and it finally just showed up for a 340. And actually, it's a white 340 too, and they're doing like the exact same setup as me. Same tuner, same meth injection, all that stuff. So 6 to 8 months, and I got the Flomax Plus in like a week, not even. We would have been done with this already, but we're having a super difficult time getting this V-band clamp off. The bottom bolt is seized onto it, and so we're probably gonna just end up cutting the bolt and removing the whole thing because we can't get it to spin at all. All we had to do is cut that little bolt and get that thing out. What a pain in the ass. So what happened was whoever put that on beforehand over-tightened it by way too much, and then it just seized on, and the V-band actually wrapped around the rear nut, so we couldn't even get access to it. Yeah, touch that. All right, probably took us more time to do that than it would to freaking put the turbo on. It's ridiculous. Supra making jam. Yep, so it's definitely bigger. So you can see there's more of a taper in the CTS Turbo one, how it tapers down really quick. I don't know how that's going to be for efficiency though. This downpipe didn't even have the mounting bracket on it either. But that's the difference. It's a little bit smaller, but bigger. Might sound a little bit different too. Draining the coolant lines for the turbo. Supra dynoing in the back. This is just the sounds of the shop that I love. Tools, cars, fucking dream right here, right? That's what I love about being in shops. Things happening. Tools moving. Cars making power. That's what I live for. Sheesh! Can't wait to get this thing on. Start working on the meth setup. Some E5000 over here for the lines. It's gonna be good stuff, man. So the manifold slides behind this little rusted out piece, and that holds it on.
There's another sandwich plate.
Right, on top, yeah.
And then you kind of bolt them on. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not very good.
Toast.
Like peeling.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Nice. Flomax Plus, they call it. So this is the newer one. And I think it has a little bit bigger propeller and inlet. Look at that, man. Way bigger. Yes, sir. So we swap over the wastegate and the lines. But dude, this is clearly much larger. The reassembly is almost complete. Wastegate and lines swapped over.
Well, not quite lines yet, but wastegate, yes.
Wastegate, yes. Oh yeah, I'm good.
Lines are ready to go in though.
Lines are right there.
Got new O-rings on them.
As you do, new rings.
Make sure to always move up.
They're nice and KY'd. That KY jelly. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll loosen those bolts on so it gives us enough room to leave that bracket out, and then we can tuck the manifold behind the bracket and then tighten on the manifold and then tighten on the bracket. It's a tight fit though to get that turbo and manifold in there. It's old new. Cool. Install kit came with some new nuts too, as well as a charge pipe gasket. So I would buy if you guys are doing the Dynamic Autowerx turbo kit, or even the pure turbo kit, I would just get the installation kit. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. And then for the Dynamic Autowerx, I also got the inlet that goes with it too. But I just basically picked everything that they had that you could option onto it, and I did it all through Euro Performance Shop. And then it showed up in like less than a week. All right, got her in. And the trick to doing it, there's a little piece that comes out of the bottom of the turbo that goes onto a mount that connects to the block. And if you guide that piece from the turbo into that little flange mount and then work on the top part, it's a lot easier. So we got it on. All right, so they give you a fresh new throttle body charge pipe gasket. I'll take this one out. Big body bands, baby. I used to be dusty. Bam, back in the Tiggy. We'll let those guys finish up the turbo, and then we'll come back tomorrow and start the high pressure fuel pump, and then the meth, and then the following day we'll be doing the tuning and all that good stuff. I gotta head home because my new wheels actually came and they're just like sitting outside of my front door. I'm a little bit worried about that, but I also have to ceramic coat those tonight so we can mount and balance them tomorrow. But I'm gonna get them taken care of. So, see you guys tomorrow.